Wow, what an honor it is for us to be addressing the nearly 2,000 graduates in the crowd today. Thank you for welcoming us into your community for this amazing honor, and congratulations.
It was only 7 years ago that we were sitting in your seats finishing graduate school, and so we're keenly aware that this has not been an individual journey, but one that could only have been made possible with the immense support of friends and family. So please let us look around and acknowledge all those friends and family members who enabled us to be here today. Now graduates, look around again. This time at the company you find yourself in. There's some pretty incredible people here and a vibrant, inspiring community that you have all created. You all have made the decision to extend your studies beyond your graduate degrees, to invest in yourselves and in your potential to make the world a better place. You've studied, you've learned, you've achieved, and you've overachieved. And today it's time to celebrate, because now you can finally stop learning. As of today, you never have to learn again.
We're obviously kidding. This ceremony is called Commencement, which literally means beginning, for a reason today doesn't demarcate an ending, but rather a new chapter in your chosen path to learn and grow. One of our core values at Warby Parker is learn, grow, repeat. And you are all living and breathing it. Except starting today, your learning will be self-directed. The problems you encounter won't be structured. You won't have the luxury of professors to guide you through intellectual hurdles or assignments to pace your learning. You'll be in charge of your own education for the rest of your life.
We started Warby Parker with two of our classmates and friends, Jeff and Andy. And at the time, we were working out of our apartments with no formal training in any of the disciplines we would soon need fluency in: design, engineering, supply chain, branding, to name a few. And none of us had ever built a website, let alone started a company. 3 of us had management, consulting, and finance backgrounds, and the other came from a nonprofit. If you wanted us to build a fancy Excel model or put together a slick PowerPoint presentation, we were your guys. If you wanted us to create a team to disrupt the $100 billion optical industry, we were certainly not it.
But fast forward 7 years, and our team has grown to more than 1,100 people. We have over 50 stores across North America, have millions of happy customers, and through our nonprofit partners, we've distributed millions of glasses to people in need around the world. We often get asked how we got here, and the real answer is a lot of luck. And anyone who has achieved success without being lucky is either lying or is delusional. We work tirelessly to position ourselves to be recipients of as much good fortune as possible and to capitalize on it whenever it came our way. In doing so, we learned some important lessons that we want to share with you today.
As we just described, while we weren't the strongest group of individuals, as a group, together we were a great team. We were passionate about the problem we were trying to solve, and we trusted each other, and that trust was built and reinforced over time. Like any good team, we assigned roles and responsibilities, we divided and conquered, but most importantly, we communicated open and honestly. On a monthly basis, we would sit down at our favorite local watering hole, Roosevelt's Pub, order a few pints of Yingling, and give each other feedback. We'd each take a turn in the hot seat and hear things like, "You're doing this well, this could be improved. When you send me that 10-page email at 1 a.m. listing out all the things I should be doing for my area of the business, I want to reach through the computer screen and strangle you."
Yes, sometimes these conversations would escalate quickly, but in fact, the purpose was to surface any potential underlying tension. We would talk through these issues, and sure enough, that email that came through at 1 in the morning, that person wasn't checking up on us. He wasn't worried that I wasn't doing my job. He was just excited about the business, and he wanted to share all the ideas that he had. And that's lesson number 1, presume positive intent. It's human nature to assume the worst. Avoid doing so. Have enough confidence in yourself that when someone suggests a new idea or takes action without telling you first, Don't get defensive. You gain trust by giving it away. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't be skeptical at times, but trust first and then verify. If you can't presume positive intent, then you're hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Our lack of industry expertise made us joyfully naive. It enabled us to get excited about an opportunity without being scared off by its complexity. Our lack of knowledge fostered a beginner's mindset that forced us to ask basic questions about every aspect of the business. How can we dramatically bring down the price of glasses? Are there non-traditional ways that we can enable customers to try on our frames? How many lens options do we need? While industry insiders scoffed, every day we learned more, got smarter, and applied that learning. This is the difference between startups and incumbents. The startup mentality is one of embracing and even driving change, while constantly wanting to do everything better than yesterday. Whereas incumbents benefit from maintaining the status quo, unproven startups need to create a future in which they can be successful. This is entrepreneurship 101, but you don't need to start a business or work at a startup to be entrepreneurial. You just need to commit to getting better every day. So lesson number 2, commit to continual improvement. This is probably the easiest lesson to heed. You've already made this commitment, which is why you're graduating today. Every day is an opportunity to make yourselves better, to make the organization you work for better, and ultimately to make the world better. In fact, this is the only way to make the world better.
Life is full of frustrations, but every frustration is an opportunity. Don't let them pass by unnoticed. Warby Parker was born out of our own frustration as consumers. We simply hated paying too much for glasses and hated the experience of walking into an optical shop. As we started discussing the ways to innovate and create a better product and experience, we became obsessed with the idea of building a business, one that could scale and do good in the world, in the hope that one day we would inspire other entrepreneurs and other executives to run their organizations in a similar manner. But instead of dropping out of graduate school to pursue this idea, we used our time in school to systematically de-risk every element of the business. We spent 1.5 years putting together a brand architecture, coming up with a name, building a business plan, determining what price we should sell our product. In fact, one of our professors refused to invest in our business because he thought if we were truly committed, we would have dropped out to pursue the idea full time. I think he regrets that right now. But committing to something doesn't mean jumping out of a plane without a parachute. Lesson number 3, speed walk, don't cliff dive. Speed walking is constantly moving forward by taking deliberate step after deliberate step. You're moving quickly, but you never feel out of control. You can speed walk a lot longer than you can run. And we found that you're more likely to reach your destination if you dream big, but fail small. You came here with big ambitions, and now you graduate with an obligation to fulfill them. Any journey worth taking will involve 1 million scary decisions. Conquer fear by minimizing risk, not by eliminating it. Take baby steps rather than giant leaps. If you feel like you're standing at the edge of the cliff, take a step back. Break that decision down into a handful of smaller decisions. Those smaller steps and decisions might enable you to find a completely different path down the mountain.
Now, whatever path you take, you'll encounter people of all different backgrounds and life experiences. An entrepreneurial journey, and truly any journey, are enriched through exposure to a variety of perspectives, some familiar and some new. Seek to understand different points of view and preferences. Now, lesson number 4, treat others the way that they want to be treated. This is one of our core values at Warby Parker, and one that we've enhanced over the last 7 years. Initially, it was treat others the way we want to be treated, but people are complex and different, and it's much more powerful to be empathetic, truly understanding the individual you're interacting with in order to cater to their wants and needs. Practice empathy and be grateful.
The graduate degree you earned today is actually a contract. Upon receipt, you have promised to lead. Which brings us to lesson number 5, lead with kindness. When we talk about kindness, we mean using it in the interactions that take place hundreds of times a day for every person in every city and town and every village on earth. It's about being kind without expecting anything in return to your loved ones, your best friend, your colleagues, to strangers you'll probably never see again. And the beauty of kindness is that it is both a means and an ends. Your success is entirely the result of the goodwill of others. Our success with Warby Parker was the result of the goodwill of our classmates, our professors, our former co-workers, all of whom encouraged us while providing critical feedback and introductions. Kindness enables success while being the success we seek, a truly kind world. Let us all be proliferators of kindness.
We have a quote on the wall in our office by the novelist Henry James. It says, 3 things in human life are important. The first is to be kind, the second is to be kind, and the third is to be kind. If you're not sure where to begin, start with a simple question. Ask yourself, what can I do to make someone's life better? In our case, the answer was as simple as bringing down the price of a pair of glasses. But you'll each find your own answer to this question. Now that's where things get interesting. No matter what degree you have earned, you're graduating today as a leader. And we live in a world where the most valuable tool in a leader's toolkit is not her ability to control other people, but her ability to influence them, to bring out the best in them, to make them feel valued.
And making people feel valued begins with kindness. It begins with the simple human interactions that make up the minutes and hours of our daily lives. Leadership begins with holding the door open for the person behind you, or answering the text message from a classmate. It begins with hailing a cab for an elderly person, a task so easy there's literally an app for it. Leadership is about saying thank you and meaning it.
And on that note, thank all of you, and congratulations.
Congratulations.